Banana Prince is a Famicom and Nintendo Entertainment System game that was released in 1991 in Japan and during 1992 in Germany. I'd never heard of this game until the day before I wrote this review. I decided to give this a try, but as there's no English language version, I use a ROM hack to get a translated version of the game. Banana Prince is an action platformer that sees you, the prince, in his quest to regain lost weapons that were stolen by the Pepper Dragon. There are in total 7 worlds, each with 3 levels and a boss. It's not a very difficult game, but does offer a nice challenge with what appears to be unlimited continues, and that the continues carry on from the last checkpoint you activated and not just from the start of levels or worlds. When you begin your journey, you start off with what looks like a tiny club to hit enemies, but the range isn't great. As you progress and get to shops, you will be able to purchase new weapons that add some projectiles to your attacks. It starts off with 1 small projectile and you end up with 3 very large projectiles that have a much better range. Not only are there shops, there's a gambling game where you bet 30 rings and have to guess if a dice roll is higher or lower than a 5. That sounds like easy money. The dice has 9 sides. Not only that, I did win once, but only had 20 rings back. There's also a woman who heals you with a kiss, recovering all health back to 3 bananas, which is 6 hits. Lastly, there's a bonus world and you get to explore a board via dice rolls. I managed to beat the boss and got the banana sword for it. Gameplay is enjoyable, the platform is accurate but tricky. While the combat is relatively basic, it has a basic attack and that's about it. Though you can grow trees which you can climb and launch off, which if you hit an enemy, you will likely kill them, as the jump does an attack in the form of a somersault. The game looks nice with nice sprite work, though the characters you see have more detail when entering shops or similar areas. There's plenty of detail in the stages too, with a nice variety to the stages themselves and what is in them. For example, you start off in an area with some trees around, similar to that of a palm tree, and the background is a skyline with buildings. You then go to a forest, then a swamp-like area, then to climb in a tower, and more. Musically, the game's got a really upbeat soundtrack for the most part. There's slower paced tracks to fit some themes like the forest, and the boss theme is frantic. Overall, it's a well-balanced OST and very catchy too. Now, the biggest issue for me isn't really an issue of the game itself. Because I played a fan-translated version of the game, some things just don't really make sense. For example, there's quizzes in the game, and sometimes I just got confused by the questions, and with no manual I had no idea of what many of the things in the game were. You get an item. I say item, it's an old man who floats above you. I have no idea, even after finishing the game, what exactly he does, and you can collect more of him than one. But I have no idea if that does anything. I don't think it's explained in the game, so that is one fault of the game, but I guess it could have been in the manual. Overall, I think the game is good and worth trying out if you have an interest in retro platformers. And with that, I will score this game 7 Pugsleys out of 10.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Why not give Pedz a follow if you enjoyed it? And while you're at it, check out grk.co.uk and the GRK Collective on YouTube. Yeah.